I'm Sherman DeSalle, and this is Fox 26 Crime Files. Did a shoplifter really abandon a baby to get away from police, then defend her case on Facebook to us? Matthew Seedorf has the story you just have to hear.
How did I get my baby back if I left my baby at the store?
In a now deleted Facebook Live tirade,
drop the name, tell them who it is.
A woman accused of shoplifting and abandoning her child while running from police responds to the accusations.
Not only did I steal, the world know I steal. That ain't a surprising to them. It's walking around these. That's what I do. Shop with time. That's what the I do. So that ain't a surprising to nobody.
The woman online goes by Takesha, reacting to a post I made on Facebook.
It's just crazy to me how y'all wait. How these ugly white folks wait this long to post something. You post stuff trying to get more likes and more ha-ha.
On my Fox 26 page, I posted these images shared Tuesday from Humble Police. A woman wanted for stealing hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise last week from Dillard's at Deerbrook Mall. According to Humble PD, the woman, a possible boyfriend, and her baby in a stroller were confronted by a deputy while leaving the mall with a carrier full of stolen items. While the man was caught, police tell us the woman kept running, leaving behind her baby and stolen clothes in the mall parking lot.
Turn me in all you want. Y'all can tell them my name, my first name, last name, all that. I'll be out of jail tomorrow. That don't bother me. I will be out of jail tomorrow.
Takesha showing no remorse for trying to steal from Dillard's.
I ain't on no probation. I ain't on no parole. I ain't got no hoes.
Not agreeing with police on what exactly happened that day.
To get on here and say she left her child and ran. And ran for the most that'll believe I left my child and took off running.
Bizarre story from Matthew Seedorf. Well, an unthinkably violent week for the community of Galena Park. It started with 3 teenage girls murdered. Then the killer turned the gun on himself. Here's Fox 26's Natalie He.
Now I'm scared to go to sleep. Like, I'm scared to turn off the light. Like, her voice, I still have it in her yelling, her crying. I have it in my mind still. It's hard. And because I have girls.
Amy Ortega says she continues to be haunted by the screams and gunshots she heard outside her Galena Park home Saturday night. Shortly before 11 p.m., Amy says she and several other neighbors called 911 when they found a 12-year-old girl running down the street naked while holding a 1-year-old baby.
She was yelling, saying, he killed my sisters, he killed my friend. Why my friend? My friend was just visiting, and he was like, he was crazy, jealousy. He killed them for jealousy.
A GoFundMe supporting the family identifies 2 of the victims as sisters, 13-year-old Melanie Torres and 19-year-old Sayuri Gill, who was 6 months pregnant. The third victim is identified as the girl's 14-year-old neighbor, Laisha Perez.
It's so hard because my daughters, they say they're okay, but I know they're not okay because, they saw everything, they heard everything she was saying.
Authorities say the 38-year-old male shooter was the live-in boyfriend of the sister's mom. He apparently killed himself before officers arrived. His motive still remains unknown.
We're told that other than him having a dating relationship with the female homeowner for the last 2+ years, he wasn't the father of anyone of the teens that were killed here today.
Also in Galena Park, a 17-year-old gunned down outside a community center. Police say a lifelong friend is the gunman. Chelsea Edwards has the story from court.
My heart right now, it hurts for my family.
Veronica Rosales says her heart also goes out to the parents of 17-year-old Johnny Lewis. He's the boy who was out on bond for 2 other crimes, who's now charged with robbing and murdering her son, Marcos Orta. The boys went to school together and are even right next to each other in their middle school basketball team picture.
That just tells you the person that did this, the humanity, they have no care for it.
It's tough. I got a lot of anger. A lot of hurt.
Hope and pray that maybe this is something they can think about, like how much of a tragedy you giving that person a bond can cause.
Orta's parents say he loved being with his family, playing sports, was a good student, and he treasured wearing his cross necklace and this jacket, a Christmas gift from his dad.
He loved it, yes. I I feel him in this jacket.
Another Galena Park family is now trying to raise money to pay for 14-year-old Alicia Perez's funeral. She was shot to death Saturday after detectives say a woman's boyfriend killed her 2 teen daughters and Perez, who was simply sleeping over. The man also sexually assaulted the woman's 12-year-old daughter, who escaped, then shot and killed himself.
This is really unbelievable. We just don't believe that this happened. We still think that at any time she's just gonna come and with my brother, and we're still gonna be a full family.
That was Donnelly Keith reporting. Well, several gunmen fired rounds into a home, hitting a woman. Neighbors tell our Gabby Hart they know the sounds of gunfire there all too well.
You heard somebody screaming?
That's all I heard. I was inside.
Well, what did you do when it happened?
Go down to the ground. I was midway going to the restroom.
Around 5 o'clock Wednesday morning, the sound of gunfire erupted in this East Houston community. And this young child knew exactly what to do when it happened.
How did you know that they were gunshots?
Because fireworks sound less than gunshots, and usually it's gunshots. They happen like once a month.
They happen once a month over
or once
here?
a week, yeah.
Once a week. What was going through your mind when you did hear?
Someone got shot.
Was that scary for you?
Yes.
Police say anywhere from 4 to 6 suspects walked up to the home on San Angelo Street and then fired more than 25 shots inside.
A lot of different back and forth in this area. The house seems to have multiple gunshots, whether from this incident or previous incidents.
A woman in her late 50s who was in the home with her husband and grandson was shot in the chest.
Real loud, you know, boom, 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 like about 9 bullets. And then I fell to the floor, you know. I was in my bedroom.
And we spoke to people in this neighborhood too scared to show their faces. But they told Fox 26 that their street has been terrorized with gunshots and illegal activity.
Have you ever seen anything like this happen over here?
It started when they moved here. In July, they had the same thing happen. And a bullet came through my bedroom right here.
You never know when it's going to happen. You could be outside with your family, with little kids, because there's always kids here in the bicycles. It's not safe for anybody to be out in general because it was a constant thing.
Well, a Jersey Village man wants justice, calling a traffic stop scary and unnecessary. And body camera footage shows what happened. On December 22nd, Patrick Royal was stopped by a Jersey Village police officer who said Royal had a faulty brake light. The man, who was driving home for his lunch break, says the way officers conducted the stop was unnecessary.
Put me in a full Nelson. The officer ran around the car, put the gun to my head, said I'd kill you.
You can see one officer's body cam footage here. After asking Royal to step out of the car a few times, he pulls out his pepper spray.
Well, then undo your seatbelt and step out. Okay.
In another dash cam video, Royal gets out of the car and places his cell phone on the hood. As the second officer is behind Royal, that's when a scuffle starts, and the first officer is seen pointing his weapon at Royal's head.
I'll kill you.
Oh my God.
You stupid back over here. Get on the ground.
And after that, it went all bad. They threw me on the ground. My knees scarred up, had me in the cop car, ran through my car, vandalized it, didn't find nothing. It was just all unnecessary.
Since the first video was released by Dr. Candace Matthews and Quanell X, the department says that didn't show the full incident. Police say additional video shows the man attempted to reach back into the vehicle at the time. But Royal is heard on camera saying that his phone was falling from the hood of the car, which you can also see happening.
Hands on your head.
This is why the importance of the George Floyd Act is very important. This is why you need to do away with qualified immunity. This is why you need to have in place when an officer see another officer that's on duty with them doing something out of pocket, they need to do something and say something.
Activists are standing with Royal for action in this incident, which police say is under review.
This young man is maybe 120 pounds, soaking wet. But when you watch the conduct of these deputies, you will see they had it in their heart to kill this young man if he made one simple move that they could justify taking his life.
Sherman DeSalle. Well, a 20-year-old is out on bond accused of killing his friend, racks up another felony charge. Despite these accusations, he's let out on bond again. Here's Fox 26's Randy Wallace.
A lot of people say it gets easier with time, but for us, I don't think so.
The passing of time doesn't mean April Wright is even close to seeing justice in the slaying of her 17-year-old son, Corey Thompson Jr. 20-year-old James Sotelo was out on bond when police say he killed Corey Thompson.
This is a kid who shot my son in the back more than 15 times.
Police say Sotelo also shot his own brother, but he survived. After 232nd Criminal District Court Judge Josh Hill lowered Sotelo's bond for murder to $100,000, he walked out of jail.
While he's out on bond for murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, he picks up an unlawfully carrying a weapon, a gun charge in Montgomery County.
And that is what is bothering us the most, is that this kid has a blatant disrespect for the law, for the court that he's going through, and he's still allowed to go home and be with his family. My son was never allowed to come home, and this kid is still out in the community.
If you're on bond for murder and charged with having a firearm, a gun, that should be an automatic, you go back to jail and see what happens with those cases. But that's not happened. So now he's on bond in 2 different counties. And for me, it's a disaster waiting to happen.
Oh, absolutely. And I would love for Josh Hill to answer the question as to why this case has come through your court. This kid has constantly been allowed to break the law and break his bond, and you haven't done anything about it. I want to know why.
That does it for this week's Fox 26 Crime Files. Stay tuned to see more stories that you gotta see here.